What is up? It's Dakota Layden here from Destination Fear, and you are listening to the Paranormally Zone.
A ghostly apparition in the dark of night.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Well, Mike, let's see where the devil leads us tonight.
Yes.
Did that sound a little too dramatic?
It sounds. Yes, it did. But it's dramatic. It's worth drama because it's a frightening, prospect. I don't like it. I don't like it. Chills up and down my spine.
And it's funny. I like it when you say stuff like, I don't like it.
Me no like it.
Because usually that means that we're talking about a cool, creepy topic. I don't even want to say cool. It's definitely a creepy topic.
You can say cool, and you could have that cool at a certain level where it's acceptable.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We're talking about something that's beyond evil here. We're talking about the devil tonight.
Satan himself.
Yeah, Satan, relative of the Sultan.
I don't know the ruler of the Sammy Hames or something like that.
The ruler of the Sammy Haines, yes, another friend of Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah, I better not open up that Cracker Barrel.
That's right.
Sam
Jaime. Sam Jaime. No. We're talking about the devil himself, Mr. Satan, the ever slick GQ cover magazine, Mr. Devil himself.
Yeah.
Mr. Poopy Pants in a lot of ways.
The pointy-tailed demon himself.
Pointy tail. That is very. I mean, that's obviously a very generic, corny, cartoonish description of the devil.
Yeah, red with the the horns and the pitchfork and the goatee beard, the very trimmed goatee beard.
Yes,
very black hair, black eyebrows.
Oftentimes yellow eyes.
Yeah,
right?
Small, tiny glasses like John Lennon glasses. Totally frightening.
Small hands smells like cabbage. Oh wait, no, that's something else.
It's a bit nutty.
No, tonight we're talking about the devil. Definitely paranormal in nature in a lot of ways. I mean, if you're a true believer in, I suppose, the Christian version of good and evil, right and wrong. I mean, it isn't necessarily paranormal in some sense, but to me it is, to you it is. The phrase, the devil is beside us, Mike, popped into my head earlier tonight, and we've been going back and forth as to where we wanted to go with this. Yeah, we're just going to be talking about, are we surrounded by evil without trying to sound cliched, or corny, or I don't know, repetitive, because I know we've talked about this a lot of times before, going back over a decade. But man, is the devil around us, Mike, at all times? When you see that car wreck on the side of the road, was the devil behind that? I mean, we can go any number of ways with this conversation. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to dive deep into any sorts of possibilities. Whatever pops into our little noggins tonight, we're going to go with it.
Yes.
And Mike looks uber thrilled right now. I mean, your eyes are half closed.
That doesn't mean I'm not excited. Maybe that means I'm more excited for crying out loud. Let's jump on this.
That's the surefire sign of Mike being excited is when he's sleeping. That's apparently his his surefire sign of excitement.
Believe me,
Oh
I'm
no,
not sleeping.
I kid, absolutely. So,
I'll be
but
fine
Mike,
in
it
about an hour and a
is
half or so.
okay. But remember, you still have to try and I might use that image I
Yes,
created tonight, but you need to
mhm.
send me some
Yes,
images for
yes.
the podcast
You need to text
tonight.
me the ideas that you have in your head, and I shall creatively, creativity,
Creatively.
creatively,
Well, Mike,
creatively.
why
Yes,
don't you let the devil influence you tonight and you create whatever the hell you want? I mean, all you have to think about is the devil is around us at all
yes,
times,
yeah.
and I want to see what you come up with. And
Oh,
that's what's going to be out there on the whole
oh,
tube of you. So let's see what we can
yes.
come up with.
Some nice AI imaging.
Absolutely.
Okay, what if I? Oh,
It is May 30th, 2025. Mike, it is good to see you. We did just release a Patreon video episode last weekend. This is our first episode since we did the Haunted Titanic a couple of weekends ago, and we are back. No, this will not be a video episode. I'm sure people listening to it have already figured that out because there's nothing to see. It's just the podcast episode logo, and that's okay. And I
yeah.
apologize to those who prefer to see us on the old video, and I encourage them to go and check us out on the Patreon because, as I said, we
Yes.
just released a Patreon video episode. And
Mm.
let's get it out of the way, Mike. I've been busy as a
Yes, you
woodchuck,
have
chucking away on wood,
a lot of wood.
a
You've got a
lot of
lot of
wood,
wood.
a lot of podcast wood that I've
Yes.
been chucking away on. We're talking about the Patreon page. I have added in the last. Okay, stop it.
Okay, sorry. It's making woodchuck noises.
I have just
Anyway, go ahead.
the last 2 days. I have added not one, not two, not three, not four. No, 24 of our celeb guest interviews to the Patreon page. It is the only place you can listen to them, boys and girls. We're talking about interviews going back to 2014. We have over 40 now available exclusively on the Patreon page. And we're talking about our chats with Jason Haas, Grant Wilson, Amy Bruni, Adam Berry, Chip Coffey. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
On and on and on and on.
I am just so, at the risk of sounding arrogant, I really don't want to come across that way, but I'm so proud of how many awesome guests we've had on the show over the years, Mike.
Extremely awesome guest. Proud, yes.
Absolutely. So, the plan is to have more guests in the future, but as I've mentioned before, it is more difficult than ever to try and book guests on podcasts, at least on ours. I don't know what that says about our little podcast here, but
we have had ideas of, guests on the show that aren't like the big names that you see on TV or whatever. But I think, like we've talked before, and we've talked about it before on air, of possibly having some of our listeners on air with us to tell some of their stories that they have. And I know,
oh yeah, we've done that.
Yes, we have, but we should do it more. What more interesting guests can you have?
That's very true. Very, very true.
Than the people that listen to us and that know who and what we are and are, part of our podcast family kind of thing. And
I like that idea.
Yeah, there's some great stories out there. I know they have them.
It's been a while since we have done one of those ghost stories episodes. I think we got up to like 5, and it's just we've gone away from it. Not on purpose, but that's just how it happens. So, if any of you out there are listening, if any of you out there listening care to be a guest on the Paranormally Zone, if you have had paranormal experiences and you are comfortable sharing them with us and our millions of podcast listeners
all over the world,
a lot. We have a lot. Just contact us. You can find us anywhere on social media. Send us a message, and
yes,
we'll figure it out.
And I know that there have been, some listeners that have, shown interest on being on the show that have not made it, I believe. So if they're still listening, please get a hold of us, because I know you have some great stories. You gave us a little bit of a heads up. So if you're listening, contact us again, please.
Yeah. And very, very quickly here, that also goes out to paranormal investigative groups. We have a lot of people that we've been in contact with. We'd love to speak with them. So yeah, I get you, Mike. Doesn't always have to be the Ron Moorheads and the Andrea Perrins and the Grant Wilsons of the world. I get you.
Yeah. Quit name dropping now, because
hey, you got to do it. You got to do it, man.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we're proud. But anyway, yeah.
We'd love to hear from you.
I can't think of anything more exciting than to have our listeners on that we can thank them on the air for their.
So, Mike,
support.
I'm thinking that we're going to go with for our opening Ghost Gab segment here. Let's go with what I tweeted out the other day. I tweeted out kind of a question to anybody who may be interested in sharing their thoughts. I don't exactly remember word for word how I put it, but I want to know people's thoughts on such paranormal devices as the spirit box or the ovilus and so on and so forth. Similar items like that. What they think about their legitimacy, their personal thoughts about them, their takes. Mike, let's just dive right at it. I think this is a good topic for Ghost Gab. When it comes to quote unquote hunting ghosts, when it comes to searching for the unknown,
hunting ghosts.
Hey,
what are you doing? His air quotes. Hunting ghosts. Anyway, go ahead.
I just had a great vision for a Paranormally Zone T-shirt. Just me holding up air quotes.
Yep.
With hunting ghosts written on there.
I like it.
Why not that?
Yeah.
All right, Mike. What do you think? I'm going to ask you first, and let's just dive right into it. Your thoughts on the spirit box? We're talking about like an actual spirit box itself, high end quality, all the way up to the Zach Bagan spirit box quality of the world, and also like the spirit box app and the ovilus and so on and so forth. Share with us, Mike, your thoughts on that, and we'll take it from there.
Really? Well, you know, my thoughts are, you know, how I support these things. You and I have had too many things that can't be a coincidence of a contact, getting direct answers, or you know, having our names, you know, being said on a spirit box, and even on the spirit box apps on the phone. You know, we've had great success.
So there is one thing that popped in my brain immediately, and again, we've mentioned this on air before. The one example that popped in my brain when you said that was when we were at the Schramm Cemetery.
Yes.
In along the Vargas trails, or the Vargas Vargas. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank.
I believe.
Vargas trails. And you specifically asked, you know, can you say my name as in me? You're pointing towards me. You might have actually said Patrick. Can you please say Patrick? And we got clear as day a couple seconds later a reply to me that said Patrick. I mean, it was indisputable.
Oh, it was crystal clear.
But it's like, how do we, that is not evidence by any means, especially towards a pseudo skeptic, or even it's even your average skeptic out there. It's like, yeah, okay, so what? It's just it's a phone app. I believe that was the phone at that time. It wasn't the actual spirit box.
Didn't we have both of them going?
We have both of them, but I think at that time that might have been from the phone app.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
But
you are correct, sir.
You know, some of those will throw it right back at you and say, well, that's just, you know, that's the power and the magic of the phone. They're somehow recording and listening to you right now. And which is creepy enough as it is, you know, when you think about it, it's like,
and on God, how much they're all laughing and laughing and laughing.
Exactly. It's like, oh, these schmoes, these idiots, they think they're talking to ghosts. And it's just some geek named Leroy who's sitting there, you know, fiddling about his computer.
Fiddling about.
And no offense to anybody named Leroy. It's a wonderful name.
Right. Yeah. And they're wearing Russian-esque uniforms down in these pods underground in there.
So to me, I mean, and I apologize. I'm not trying to be a nincompoop or a Debbie Downer by any means. But it's just
or a poopy Patrick.
A poopy Patrick. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be a poopy Patrick. But to me, that's just not I'm not moved by it. You would think differently when you hear the playback, which we have shared on the podcast before, specifically on Patreon episodes. I like flip out. I don't flip out, but I like swear and I say, "Oh boy, did you hear that?" My initial reactions are always so organic and real, but then I think about it too much, and I'm like, well, what is it? What really is it? I mean, is it a ghost talking through Mike's phone and saying my name, or is it just something entirely different than that? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. The stuff that we got, all the EVPs that we got in my kitchen in Park Rapids in that very haunted house. I mean, and and still getting EVPs and catching new EVPs on that same stuff many, many, many years later. We're still finding stuff.
I feel like I'm talking to Carl Sagan. Many, many. You need to throw in billions of EVPs.
Billions and billions.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I said what I want. Go ahead. You needed to talk, so.
Man, you needed to talk.
Wayward son.
Oh my Lord, he's already just. Anyways, I don't put. I will stop. I don't put too much weight into.
Was somebody yelling at you, or?
Yeah, didn't you hear that? The guy yelled at me, told me to get on with it. So maybe you didn't hear the media there. So
I didn't. I'm sorry.
Oh no, does it not work? Which is fine.
Well, it didn't work for me. I'm very disappointed.
Mike, the listeners will hear this. I will judge by your reaction if you hear this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, Mike's not hearing it at all. Okay, well, the button bar is off limits tonight because Mike cannot hear it.
Earlier, I heard button.
Yeah, I know not to, but hey, I am not going to test our luck tonight. We already had problems.
Hey, we got stuff to talk about,
and we're talking about devilish stuff. So I'm wondering if the devil's already messing with us.
Hey,
so okay, how about the ovilus, Mike? How about the ovilus? Yes. We've talked with Spirit Box enough. I was watching some episodes of Ghost Adventures this last week. Their latest season. I watched, I think, the first 3 episodes over a course of a couple days, and they were very entertaining, very good, like they usually are.
Oh, of course, yes.
Some of the evidence, obviously, is always questionable, but I mean, because
how many possessions have they had?
Yeah, Zach thinks that every damn thing that ever happens, it seems like, is legit paranormal experience. But again, open invite, Zach. Nothing but respect for you. And you know what? And I should retract that statement because actually I think more and more over the last few seasons or so, unless he's been hearing a lot of complaints about it, he does seem to be kind of quote unquote debunking a few things that they capture. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say buttons, but you didn't do it.
Yeah.
But they use the ovilus quite a bit. And I don't know. I cannot get into the ovilus. Obviously, I don't understand the quote unquote science of it. I don't understand how it works. So I don't see how they are possibly interacting with spirits and they get all these, words that pop up on the screen as, oh my God, like they were at, I think
the electronic voice and everything.
Yeah, and I think it was episode 2. It had something to do with Houdini. I believe they were conducting a seance trying to contact Houdini, and they had Houdini's nephew or great nephew, one of the two. He was there. He was joining them, and Patty Negri was there. She was conducting the seance.
Wonderful guest on the show. She was fantastic.
Absolutely. And then they had their. They had their, I can't remember his name, their wonderful warlock friend who was there as well. And
did he have a big pointy hat?
I have to say, but yeah.
With stars on it?
It's like, why? And I know I'm going off on a tangent already, but it's like, okay, do you have to dress so dramatically? I mean, this guy, I swear to God, he was wearing a cape. And he
did it have silver stars on it?
And it's like, oh my gosh. I mean, I don't know. I'm just going to stop there. Do you really have to? And he got the really dark eyeliner on, and he's
sure. the
It's like
Anton LaVey look.
I mean, whatever. More power to him.
Well, it helps them be in the right state of mind.
Right.
I mean,
there you
and
go.
it expresses who and what they are. I mean, it's part of their persona. It's part of their lifestyle. It's
That's
just
very true.
who they are.
That's very true. Nope. You're such a great person, Mike. You just look at the positive for everything, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I wish I could look at the positive for everything, but
So anyhow,
anywho, as you say,
when they're attempting to contact Houdini's spirits, and they have all their equipment going, and like the ovilus is running, and then like at one point, Aaron flips out because he's like, "Oh my God, it said Houdini! It said Houdini!" And Houdini popped up on the ovilus. And so I'm like, I mean, what are we as viewers and people who are passionate about the paranormal, people who believe in the afterlife, believe in ghosts, but we want solid evidence and solid proof?
right?
How in the world is the ovilus solid proof? And
it's not.
It isn't. No, it is not. But I'm not saying that it isn't legit. But
okay, but remember when we were at the Blair House, okay?
The Blair House,
the Boyd House, whatever
the Boyd House,
whatever. I don't know. It's some,
No, you're right. The Boyd House. It was the Boyd House, not the Blair House. I was like, what? The Facts of Life actress was living there?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Warner.
Yeah, there you go.
Mrs. Garrett. Tootie
and Natalie and Joe.
Along.
Oh, man. Anyways.
Joel Colt pulling the check. Whatever.
All right, we just lost everyone who was listening, but that's okay.
Anyway, yes, when we were at the Boyd Blair house, I remember that, well, they had those tools there that we could use, correct? And we did use that ovilus type piece of equipment. Remember that?
We did?
Yes, we did. It was it had the words that. Was that your throat?
No, I haven't done anything.
Anyway.
I hope it wasn't my throat. Oh, gross.
But anyway.
Yes. Okay. Yep. Mike just had to. He kind of had to rewind himself a little bit there.
Yeah.
Now he's reset. He's ready to go.
So anyway,
I don't remember an ovilus at the Boyd House.
Well, it was a ovilus type thing, and it kept coming up with words, but they were like so. Each one was like so scary. It's like, it's like words.
Oh no! You're talking about something you were using on your phone. That's like when we.
No, this was. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
Because that's like when we were first there and we're getting set up and we started recording right away. Yeah. And you were using, you might have been using like an ovilus app. And,
yeah, I think you're right. Okay.
And like the first couple of replies were like, oh, that's interesting. But then after a while, we're going, okay, this is a little dramatic here. I mean, everything was like the cliched, like get out or whatever.
Very, very, yeah.
So it's like,
And it almost felt like these were words on a loop that would, like
exactly,
like starting over and then going through the same thing, and it's like, nah,
yeah,
boy.
So, I mean, we need to get into the meat of the episode here. So
the meat.
Let's wrap it up on the ghost gab. And when it comes to ovilus and spirit box, Mike, thumbs up for you, thumbs down, or are you straddling the fence? If you had to give it a scale, rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as legitimacy, where would you put it?
I would say maybe a 7. And I think I'm being a little generous, but I just think of the times that we've had that seem pretty legit. That kind of really felt, like, oh, this is something, and you felt it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I can't deny how I always, again, organically respond to stuff like this because I'm always excited, and my initial reaction is cool, and then my stupid brain just starts poo-pooing everything.
Poo-pooing.
Yes, poo-pooing. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, any poo-pooing, Patrick would be that. Pew, 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 pew.
All right, Mike. The
And
devil
he loses
is
one more
beside
hair
us.
with each pew.
I know exactly. Oh man,
No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, the devil.
the devil is beside us, Mike. I have written down
Everywhere.
my professional notes here. See that right there?
Yeah, I can hear them. They sound pretty light.
That's light. It's not my thick, construction paper.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just your normal
Colored
typing
construction
paper. Some of the notes I wrote down as demons as an agent of the devil.
Yeah.
Demons / devil behind evil, such as serial killers. What are some signs that the devil may be around us? Is the devil truly the root of all evil? And when I say that, I mean like every bad thing that ever happens is the devil behind that, in some shape or form. Can demons attach themselves to you? All evil occurrences due to the devil. Yeah, I kind of already said that already. So, any of that stuff jump out to you, Mike, as a starting point? Because I'm
they're all
rip
good.
roaring ready to go here.
Oh, me too. They are all good. Just point your finger and go.
I'm pointing right. Let's start off with the devil being the reason, the cause behind people such as Bundy, people such as Dahmer, people such as
behind me, Satan.
such as John Wayne Gacy,
Oh, absolutely.
so on and so forth. Do you think that there's a possibility these people were all inherently, or perhaps not even inherently, but were they tools? Were they puppets of the devil? Were they simply doing the deeds of the devil? Were they were being manipulated, and therefore, if that is in any way, shape, or form true, do we ever even consider having sympathy for these people because it was out of their hands? People such as Bundy, do you think of them as any sort of chance, Mike, behind those wicked eyes, that there is a person who is simply possessed and he can't control what he is doing because the devil is pulling the strings?
Well, I think the devil, in cases like this where these these people are pure evil, where else could that evil come from? If you believe in the biblical form of Satan or the devil as real, as something that can influence somebody to do these acts that are so heinous.
Ooh.
Good use of the word heinous.
Emphasis on the heinous.
Well, I wanted to make sure the H was on the front.
So like if a British person was trying to say heinous, would it come out as anus?
Oh, would it be a bit of an anus, would it?
That person is acting very heinously. Look at how heinous he is. Anyway, sorry to our listeners.
He looks a bit puckered, he does.
Okay, anyways, I am so sorry.
Have you been eating lemons there, Larry? I'm sorry.
Okay, we're sorry. It's a late night. It's been a long but busy week, so
I've been working in the yard so hard, and I've been dead.
In the yard so hard. He's been in the yard so hard. In the yard.
We built a fire pit. We're making an oasis.
What do you think about? What do you while you were talking, Mike? I wrote down walking versions of the devil. So not necessarily. Again, we're talking about the Bundys, the Dahmers, the John Wayne Gacy's, the Kulinskis, any number of these awful, horrible people.
And the ones we don't even know of yet.
Are they the ones who are being manipulated by the devil, or are they just physical incarnations of the devil themselves? Like they were born evil. They are a demon. I mean, what again, what side of the fence do you sit on that? Are you more so they're being toyed with, they're being manipulated by the devil, or they are in fact walking on the earth as a demon in human form?
God, any one of those sounds so interesting. And
what is your vibe, though? What do you think?
I think it's an influential thing, and being influenced. The evil that is brought on by the negative energy of upbringing of the child that grows into these so-called monsters, these evil flesh-eating killers or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's they're influenced. They're influenced from the beginning. You know, maybe that's why they, along the life path of a serial killer, they start with the torturing and killing of animals and small animals and things like that, and then they work their way up. And is it? I think it's the progression of the sound of the pawn, or the something to that effect, being raised to do a job on Earth by the evil, by the the ultimate evil, Satan. It's like,
we're kind of thinking like they're almost like hand picked from birth. For whatever
like
reason,
trained at birth.
Maybe it's even random. Maybe it's just
Sure.
unfortunately for that child. So if I'm understanding you correctly, you are leaning more towards them being manipulated and puppeteered, so to speak, by the devil, as opposed to them being a demon themselves.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's the.
Well, this is just all. We're rapping back and forth here. We have no idea, but
right, exactly.
I mean,
but
we have to explore all these options.
But maybe it's the way demons are introduced into the world. I mean, maybe that's how they incarnate on Earth. Is that a possibility?
Mike, I did here. That's a good segue. I pulled out. Remember this book? This book that I actually had out in the shed because I was afraid to have it in my house because I'm so lame.
I remember that story. Yes.
I'm holding the book up to Mike right now.
Didn't you show me that when we worked together in Park Rapids?
I don't know. Well, you know what? I might have. Yeah, this is
because I remember how frightened you were.
I have shown you this book.
Okay.
I have shown you this on when we recorded. No, this is called Demon Possession Today and How to Be Free. And this goes back. This was published in 1953. This is 72 years ago.
Okay. Have you found if it's affiliated with any certain religious affiliation or anything?
It's Catholicism, 100%.
Okay,
Catholicism.
sure. Okay. Is there any green stains on it anywhere?
No, there are no green stains.
Okay.
But I just grabbed it and I flipped open. I wasn't even looking. I flipped open the book earlier before we met up. And it opened up on chapter 10, the first page of chapter 10. And I read it and I was like, you know what? Oh, this is kind of interesting. And I think this is a good segue into what you had just said.
Okay.
So if you are okay with following along with me for now, maybe, are you? Hello?
Absolutely. Yeah. Jump on it, Patrick. There you go.
And I actually mean chapter 8, not chapter 10.
Well, it doesn't matter. Nobody will
But
know.
Chapter 8, and this, don't worry, this is not going to be story time with Patrick. I'll go through this as crystal clear and quickly as I can. We're going to read a quote from Matt 12:43-45 real quick. And now listen along, Mike. Okay, listen along.
Is this biblical?
Well, they use some biblical quotes here. This is 1953 Catholic book about demon possession. So yeah, they're going to quote the Bible.
Sure.
But I think this fits. It says here, when the unclean spirit is gone out of man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. Then he saith, I'll return into my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Stop laughing.
I'm good.
I'm sorry I have to put in the F's and the ifs and the oaths and all that, okay? You got to
I can't understand a whole word of this whole damn story.
Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation.
Hmm.
The unclean spirit, the demon, has gone out. When it has gone out of man, the demon, Mike, walks through dry places, seeking a place to rest, and he cannot find none. He goes to his home, which is empty and swept and garnished, and he brings with him 7 additional spirits to go back forth to possess that other person.
Mm-hmm.
Terrifying.
Very.
Terrifying, multiple. Now, this is where it gets pretty interesting here.
You know, when you were reading all that, I was intently watching you, and I was starting to see you dressed in like a priest
Really?
outfit. Yeah, and I was like,
Well, thank you for saying. I was
Father
waiting for you
Patrick.
I was waiting for you to say that you saw a vision of like Jim and Tammy Faye Baker or something like that. It's like, hell no.
Oh, yeah, no, I could just see that white collared priest, one senior Padre
Interesting.
Patrick.
Padre Patrick. Yeah. There's Padre Pio. Nope. Padre Pio is right next to Padre Patrick. All right,
Yeah,
here we go.
yeah.
It goes on, we have learned that a demon is an agent of the devil, a spirit devoid of a body of its own. Not a disembodied spirit of a dead person, but a fallen and degenerate angelic being. We have also learned that there are vast numbers of demons, and that these demons can move into a person as an inside force and encourage him to do the wrong thing and discourage him from doing the right.
It sits on your shoulder.
Yeah, sit down, stand down, fight, fight, fight. A demon also has power. Mike, this is serious stuff, okay?
It is.
You can stop giggling any minute now.
I'm going to mute for a second. Go ahead.
A demon also has power to work and operate as an outside force, which is oppression. This is where it gets even creepier. These demons are indefinitely numerous throughout the whole earth, sweeping in great armies through the air. Terrifying.
There's minions of them.
Millions of minions.
Yes, that's what I meant.
They are anxious for a dwelling place on earth, and nothing being more congenial to them than a human soul. Therefore, they are described
It's warm and comfy.
Can you shush for 1 second?
Oh, you get so mad at me.
Oh, this is it. Not bad. Not bad.
Well, you got to find your place again. And
now I got to find my place again.
Okay, go ahead.
So they are anxious for a dwelling place on earth, nothing being more congenial to them than a human soul. Therefore, they are described as wandering through the earth, seeking a resting place in the human spirit. These demons are so exceedingly numerous that in some cases a whole troop or army crowd into one person. The same person giving lodgment to a lying demon, a demon of lust, a demon of pride, a covetous spirit, and so on and so forth.
The 7 deadly sins?
Well, it's kind of funny you said that because it goes on to refer to Mary Magdalene, who, according to the Bible, was at one point possessed by 7 evil spirits until they were cast out by Jesus.
Right. That's very interesting stuff.
The thing about the human body being a resting spot for a demon? Well, I can't quite grasp that. But you were going to say something. Go ahead, Mike.
This innumerable number, however you want to put it, of demons that are out among the people of the earth, that's the evil. That's like the representation of Satan all over the planet, all over the earth, probably more than there's more of them than there are of us, and they're each searching out for that comfy body, that comfy soul to exist in, to possess, and then it ends up to where, hey, Let's share
because
the
it's because they are displaced, degenerate, angelic beings. They are
yes.
constantly searching for that place of rest.
Yep.
They need that rest, and so
Exactly.
what better
Yep.
vessel?
And they're going to take whatever they can. It's like, and then if
Mm.
and then taking on more than one demon. It's like the demons sharing a Airbnb or something. It's like all moving in together. And then after this, but it's being fought against. There are the exorcists. There are the exorcisms that
Right.
take place. If you want to believe in that as a actual thing or whatever, it's the demons are there. They're possessing the people for their own gain, and they're trying to be exercised. It's a battle between good and evil going on. It's
One
just
thing
that
that you
there's so much more of them than there are of the good.
exactly that's. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
We're
jump
so
over you there.
outnumbered.
Am I muted right now, or am I good? I can't.
No, you're good.
Okay. That's one thing that you said that one thing you said that popped out was like innumerable. Are there just like an infinite amount and they just outnumber us? I mean, that almost makes sense. I mean,
Yeah,
in a
right.
lot of ways, and we are constantly fighting that battle because they are constantly trying again to find that place of rest,
Yeah,
that place where they can inhabit
right.
that human vessel.
Yeah, and if 3 or 2 or however many are exercised out of however many bodies, 8 or 10 are going to come back and replace them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
just
that's what
like
I just read. That's what
oh,
what they're the Bible quotes there. Like if one demon is exorcised from the body, from a human body, they goeth back to their place to their home, which they find empty and swept and garnished, and they need to keep moving, but this time they move back with 7 additional spirits,
that's right.
7 additional evil spirits.
See, I heard that, but without the context of where we got to way past that, and you were reading that, I had no idea what you're talking about.
I know, because you tune out when I start reading, because
Oh,
and I get it.
jeez.
I get it.
Yeah,
I
it's
get it.
being like in English class again or something, and anything about school, I'm gone. I'm done.
Yeah. Well, you did have that vision
I'm
of me
watching
as a
TV.
you did have that vision of me as a priest, though, so you were
I
listening a little
did.
bit.
I did. Yeah, I was pretty intent on that one.
Sorry, the reason I asked if I was muted because I've got an itchy in my throat, so I keep muting my mic here, and I want to make sure I was back
Allergies.
on. Allergies and
The smoke from the
the
fires.
smoky sky for sure.
Big fires over there.
I'm looking at my professional notes. Mike, do you think demons can attach themselves to a human
Absolutely.
and
that
follow them wherever that person may or may not go?
absolutely. I mean, if you want to talk about a demon as in what was in the movie The True Story of the Entity, possibly.
Oh,
something
yeah,
like
great
that.
example. Not even the
Abs-
movie, but about the supposed real life events the movie was based upon.
Exactly. But yeah, there are things like that. There are even if somebody is hunting ghosts or they're in places like we've been in, hunting ghosts, and
Yeah,
you might get an attachment from being there. And
Mike, I just had a thought.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I'm stepping all over you again. You probably had a wonderful thought. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and now it's all gone. I forgot.
No, I think
But go ahead.
it'll reinvigorate you what you were going to say there.
Okay,
I hope.
Yeah. No, yeah, go ahead.
Because this is controversial between you and I, and it's controversial or it's controversial to say it in general when it comes to all paranormal investigators and those who believe in the paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people out there, Mike, and I've known some of them personally. I've personally dealt with them in different ways throughout my life, who strongly believe that all what we refer to as paranormal activity is in fact demonic in nature. Now, I know you have thoughts on that.
Absolutely.
So let's share them. Let's expound on that a bit. I got my thoughts. I'm interested in yours, Mike. Is the devil behind Is the devil behind that floating girl you saw when you were a little boy? I mean,
No,
okay.
no.
Okay, but okay, you seem so certain. Okay, elaborate.
I it's just not all evil. There's too many. There's too many good stories. There's too many helpful stories. There's stories that you swear are angelic in
Very true.
nature
Yes.
that could be just the spirit of somebody they're helping. Um, there is times that where you feel extreme love and compassion. If when you're in certain the presence of certain spirits or anything like that, the emotions or whatever.
Mhm.
If you're in tune to that.
Say now those people who believe in what and the notion that the devil is behind all that, they would simply fire back and say, "Well, you're being lied to. You're being tricked. It isn't
Mhm.
angelic. It isn't loving. It wasn't a good experience. You're being fooled." I mean, is there any chance that is a possibility? Why are you clicking? What's going on with your clicking there?
Well, you're screaming in my dang ear.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was
click,
yelling.
Click, 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 click. Oh no, it's not you. It's me. Now I probably won't be able to hear you at all. I think I just went down to 0.
It's
Boy, that
okay.
thing,
I
the dang
can
thing
hear you
turned
just
real
fine.
fast. Nope,
Earth to Mike. Earth
Yeah.
to Mike.
I turned all the way down to 0.
Goodness gracious. Okay,
Well,
just
it went so
Mike.
fast.
Mike.
Yes.
Podcasting rule 101
I know.
is stop messing with your equipment in the middle of recording.
Even in my half-deaf ear, it was starting to hurt. I had to do something.
Because I was very proud of you.
Yes.
Because you haven't messed with your webcam or your lighting.
I have, because I've been trying so hard, but then I had to break it because
I'm so
my
sorry.
ear was starting to bleed, and I could feel it. I can feel it.
It's like, just a minute. Well, in the middle when Patrick's telling me a story, I'm going to start turning down my.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
All you hear is click, 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 click,
Yeah,
click.
that's all everyone hear. That's all everyone heard on
Okay,
YouTube right now.
I apologize to the world.
So I lost my train of thought. Oh, the idea of being manipulated and fooled, Mike, into thinking that there is a positive experience when it comes to the paranormal. I mean, I know what you're going to say, but share it anyhow. Is there a chance that that you are in fact being manipulated, you are being fooled, you are being tricked by the quote unquote devil to believing that you are having a positive paranormal experience?
Absolutely. The devil is a liar. He's a liar.
Amen.
He's the that's the king of deception. That's his thing. That's what if he had a fetish, that would be his fetish. That's the thing that he would do. That's how bad it would be.
He'd just sit there and look at you and say, "Lie to me. Lie to me like you've never lied before."
Yeah. So you're at the
Okay.
Absolutely.
So definitely, I mean, it's a possibility that some paranormal experiences can be explained, well, not explained away, but can be the result of the devil or demons and
of demonic attachment and
demonic attachment for sure. A lot of people believe like some entities like shadow people, Mike, are in fact like demonic in nature. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I know that they creep me out. Shadow people creep the hell out of me. No pun intended.
I don't know. With my having some experience with shadow people.
Yeah, you had a pleasant experience, basically.
And I had there's no fear or anything. It was just, get up, checked where I saw this shadow thing dip down into to make sure there was nothing there. I knew the kids were not in there, and I think they were probably taking a nap or something. So, yeah, nothing there, and I heard it.
I'm seeing. I'm bringing up some articles, Mike, that I had saved earlier, and yeah, some of these might seem a little extreme, but we're looking at quote unquote signs that you may have a demon. You want to hear some of these?
Mm-hmm. Your breath smells like sulfur.
That's one. That's number one. Well, the reason I'm bringing this up, because the first thing that popped in my brain was, I'll never forget it. The very sad day when the late, great Robin Williams decided to take his own life. And I just happened to be talking on the phone with my brother Joe, and we were talking about how it was coming to light, how he had been suffering from so many different things, including depression, like hardcore depression. And I will never forget when Joe said to me, and he says, I truly believe that depression is caused by the devil. He says, it's like, to me, it's like a demon is causing it for whatever reason. And I'm like, wow, that really kind of hit me. And it hasn't left me, because that was 9 years ago now.
Hmm.
So that's one of these quote unquote signs in this article that I had found, Mike, was kind of, I don't want to say mental health issues, but definitely like extreme anxiety and like chronic sicknesses, chronic depression. Any possibility that stuff like that is because there's a flippin' lingering asshole demon who just won't leave you alone, and your body is reacting in such a way.
Yeah, it's living in your bowels and laughing all the way.
Oh, I hope it's not laughing. My God.
Oh, of course they are. That's
what do you think? What do you think though about that possibility?
I'm in a tough situation, a tough spot for all that. I really.
Well, I'm sorry. It's kind of a hard hitting question. I get it. You know, you can 100% disagree with it. You can maybe say there's a possibility. I'm curious.
Anything is a possibility to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I don't know. You and I have joked and said behind kind of the back things about my health and everything, but
yeah,
I'm comparing my health with demonic possession or an attachment or anything like that. God, I hope not. Is all I
there you go.
But no, I'm just kidding.
It's like, Mike, are you simply in need of an exorcism? Is that what we're getting to here?
No, we don't want to go back to another childhood trauma.
Oh, I know. I remember you saying that. My gosh.
So that's been taken care of. So I'm clear there.
So I mean,
to be exercised.
To be frank, you can be Mike and I'll be Frank.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy into that being the cause for everybody who's ever had anxious or ever had anxiety problems, ever had depression, ever had any sort of mental issues. Obviously, mental problems. I don't even like saying mental problems, but struggling, on a daily basis. I'm not saying that's because of the devil.
Yeah,
right. Not saying it's the devil, but I'm not saying that isn't the cause for some.
Exactly. It of course it can be a possibility. I mean, the depression that Satan or the devil can put on you, just as a little side note for him to laugh at, or whatever he does with that, feeds off that energy or whatever. I don't know. All I know is that I do not have a demon problem or an attachment.
Thank you for clarifying.
I know that for a fact. And I do have the mental health issues. I do have all of that stuff that I am, seeing somebody for. That's absolutely wonderful.
But there's there are several root causes for your situation that have nothing to do with demonic.
Exactly.
Demonic related causes.
Unless somewhere along the line, maybe when I was a little kid, it's like maybe one of those demons that are roaming around looking for a soft spot to land. What's better than a little kid,
Man, soft spot to land.
But who knows,
So what do you think about even, I'm going down this list here too, intrusive thoughts or voices? Now, a lot of people claim to hear voices in a lot of different ways. I mean, I think of the Son of Sam right away, pops in my brain. The devil made me do it, told me to. I mean, any number of things. But we're talking about like intrusive thoughts. They can be, I'm reading right now, it says, Satan can plant thoughts into the hearts and minds of people. These thoughts can be compulsive. They can be intrusive thoughts of self-harm, perversion, blasphemy, or even the sound of voices that will not stop. So what do you think about such things as intrusive thoughts, Mike? Self-harm. That's what comes to the forefront to me, compulsive, perverted, blasphemous thoughts.
Yeah.
I mean, is that the cause of the devil?
I'm sure it can be.
Again, I
Another
know.
root
I don't
cause.
want to exactly. I don't want
You
to sit
know?
there and I don't want us to repeat ourselves over and over, but we don't want to eliminate the possibility of that being.
Exactly. But it's such an intense thing too that you just I don't know. You hate to think of the devil being there, making something like this happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes me
Surges of violence, surges of self-harm again, and other compulsive behaviors. Now we again, not to be repetitive, we've had several episodes on Mr. Ted Bundy, and we go back to like the stories of him as a young man when I believe it was his aunt was visiting, and she woke up in the middle of the night. In the middle, a very very young, like 5-year-old Ted Bundy was standing by the side of her bed, and he had placed kitchen knives all around her body
Right.
while she was sleeping, and he just
Mhm.
stood there as she described with a blank look on him. I don't remember if she said his eyes were darkened or blackened. I know that happened with another family relative. But that's not normal behavior for a 5-year-old kid.
No.
I mean, what is going on there? Is that influenced by the devil, or is that just an effed up, mentally challenged kid?
But how is a little kid that age going to know? Well, I'm going to put a circle of knives around.
That's a great way of. That's a great question.
And then I'm going to. Oh, and if it's a joking thing, 5-year-old kid I'm going to stand here like I'm possessed.
Oh man,
It's
that's
no
weird enough. There,
it is, and a kid at that age, you got to figure if it's not a demon attachment or a demon possession
mm-hmm.
at that age, what led up to him being, doing shit like that?
Yeah. And
That
he didn't. It's not like he circled. It's not like he placed a bunch of lollipops around her body or something.
or
It
stuffed
was
animal toys
or stuffed
something.
animals. It was knives. He clearly
Exactly.
understood that knives can be dangerous. That knives can cause harm,
They can
and
kill.
they can kill, and that's what he surrounded her body with.
That's a lot to know, especially back at that time. That's a lot to know for a little kid that age. It's different now. It's different now because of the way the world is. But
very true, very
but
true.
back
But
then,
we're
that
talking
was
early 50s. I mean,
yeah. Kids didn't, and me, mid 60s even. You wouldn't have that thought to do that unless there is something drastically wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
And again, Mike, we've talked about it, and I don't mind talking about this again because it is absolutely fascinating. Bundy himself claimed that there was what he described as the entity that would overtake him.
Right.
Those police officers who arrested him, the detectives who interviewed him, often spoke of those. I don't want to say boils, but the welts that formed underneath his eye on his cheek when he would get into a state of mind where he was talking about his murders.
And that police officer had witnessed this.
Yes. And the interviewers, years after the fact, when he's talking about these murders, they would form. Now, is this some sort of is he under so much stress that he's somehow forming these welts and blah blah blah? I don't buy into the stress thing causing that.
I mean, to have that much of a physical transformation that somebody is watching it happen
right
in real time and it's changing like that.
And they also said, and again, all BO body odor jokes aside, they said that he began to emit a foul odor.
Yeah. Probably
no joke.
Like sulfur and poop. That's got to be it.
That's not a good combination.
That's
not a good combination. We have like people maybe unfortunately suffering constant nightmares, like attacks during their sleep. Or it even goes on to talk about, if you have dreams about that damn succubus or incubus, you better go to your local priest and confess right away. Well, not even confess, but let them know.
Yeah, well, that's if guys have a wet dream, that's what happens. That's what that's the succubus. And
how about this one? I'm not even going to number 10 because we've already talked about that. It's going along those lines of all paranormal activity is demonic in nature, and you and I don't buy that. We don't buy that.
Right.
What do you think, though, about chronic sicknesses and
Mhm.
people who are sadly just afflicted with bad health?
Yes.
And like a lot of times, the doctors have no idea what's going on there. They're just sickly from childhood on. Is that
Dang,
something?
maybe I am possessed. No, I'm just kidding.
I
I'm
don't want.
sickly.
Well, look at these. This is the other article I read, Mike. It says, based on our experiences with those who suffer demonic afflictions, we might identify 7 common signs of the evil one's hidden presence. And they are,
Really?
number 1,
Yes.
lethargy and fatigue.
Yes.
Number
My
2,
word.
nausea and headaches.
Really?
Number 3, awful sick feeling in the entire body. Number 4, exaggerated anger and bursts of rage. Number 5, evil spirit of division, distrust, and conflict. Number 6, negative mental self messages. I am an awful person. I am bad, so on and so forth. Number 7, exaggerated, intrusive, blasphemous thoughts. I guess if you check any of those off, you better go talk to your local priest again. Holy crap, I feel lethargic. You're possessed.
Yeah. I'm tired.
You're possessed.
Hey,
I had another bad headache. It's the demon. It's the devil.
you know,
I mean, I'm not mocking this, but some of that's a little too simple for me.
but I have every one of those except for the last one.
I
There's
know
no,
that's
there's,
what
there's
else.
no blasphemy in me.
Boys and girls, when I was reading this list
Oh,
off, I would
jeez.
glance up. I'd glance up at the screen, and Mike was slowly just kind of lowering his head
Yep,
more.
shaking my head.
It's like maybe I am possessed.
Patrick looking at the top of my scally. Oh Lord.
I don't think that you're possessed, Mike. I really don't
No,
think you're
I'm
possessed.
not. I have the God in me. I have the Jesus in me. I am not, cannot, and will not be possessed.
Well,
So help me God. Amen.
amen, hallelujah, and all that
Amen.
good stuff.
Anyway, go ahead.
Let's see here. Boy, we're over an hour already. That's cool. We made it to
Really?
over an hour.
Boy, time has really slowed down for me.
Wow, that was pretty good. Yeah, 10 signs you have a demon. 5 signs someone in your life was sent by the devil. Oh God, that could be. Oh man,
Could it be I for you or you for I?
I don't even know if I want to read that. A lot of bad jokes are going to come out of that one. I immediately think, yeah, I won't even say what I immediately think of.
It might be fun.
No, I think to be safe, we probably shouldn't.
All right.
So do you
know
think
best.
we're going to wrap up the show in the last few minutes here, Mike?
Yes.
I buy into that notion, as creepy as it is, and as I know you were laughing from the quotes I was reading from the book. Possession today, right there, folks.
Yeah.
Go to your local bookstore, and it's probably not there anymore.
Yeah. Or you can find it on Amazon. Order from Barnes and Nobles.
Yeah, I like how it describes it here. A real eye-opener to the skeptic. It deals a death blow to modernism.
You may find it at the Book Barrel store on 7th Street and 6th Avenue.
There you go.
It's a place owned by, they call him Papa Jake.
It's the book that bursts
He'll
into
find it for
flames the moment you look at it. Yeah, that
Papa
one.
Jake, you got that book, that Catholic book that I really want to have.
So, okay, Mike. Sorry.
Anyway, 5th and 6th, remember.
I think we both are kind of creeped out by, but do not toss aside the possibility of it being legit. That demons are everywhere.
Yes,
Mike.
Around us, you see them, but you don't recognize them. They're sneaky. They're wily. They will blend in.
What I'm thinking of though is that we all have those thoughts. If you call them intrusive thoughts or not, I mean it's fine. It's normal. But we've all throughout our lives, we've all been tempted. We've all been tempted to make those bad decisions. And
Absolutely.
we've all made bad decisions. What I'm trying to get at is, as corny as it may sound, as generic as it may sound, it's like, when we make those bad decisions, when we're being tempted to do something that we know we shouldn't, are we being spoken to by that unseen demonic force that is around everything? Is that what is tempting us, or is that just a part of the human brain? What say you on that? I mean, I kind of like. I don't want to say I like the idea of it, but I'm intrigued by the idea that there is some legitimacy to that, the devil on your shoulder thing, Mike, and the
Right.
angel on your other shoulder.
Well, and where did that originate from? Was it?
Yeah.
Like
when little Mike was walking through the dime store and he saw his favorite little Tonka truck. I don't know if you ever liked Tonka trucks. I have no idea.
Charleston Chew or a Chico stick.
Were you ever tempted, Mike, to go, I want to grab that and put it in my pocket because I'm a little kid and I just want it. I don't know, even understand the concept of theft. I mean, is that the devil on your shoulder making you think of doing stuff like that?
I did do something like that at the Piggly Wiggly when I was about 5.
On the Piggly Wiggly?
Yeah, in the Piggly Wiggly. Oh, yeah. They had the bins of candy, right? And like there was like 6 bins on one side and 6 bins on the other. And in the middle on top was like this coin box where, boy, you could take, I don't know, however many it was for a quarter. Okay. So, and I was influenced by my sister. I know this for a fact. She was much older than I was. And we went over to Piggly Wiggly together. And I remember one day we were there and we were pretending to put coins in that box and taking a candy and eating it right there, digging in our empty pockets, bringing out nothing and pretending to put it in a box, taking another candy and eating it. Nobody caught us. Nobody stopped us. We had our fill of candy and then we left.
Wow.
So stealing, and I was influenced by my sister, the devil. Yeah, my sister. I joke not. I hope she doesn't listen to this. No, she doesn't listen to this podcast. Not if it had my name on it. Anyway, let's go ahead.
What do you think about 666, Mike? I
like 6.
SIX.
Yes.
666.
As a demonic number. I got a great story for that one too.
I am so burdened with Catholic guilt or something. I don't know what's going on. Or I shouldn't even say Catholic guilt. It's just being raised as a Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
Just the other day, Mike, I'm at Walmart. I'm at the checkout with my lovely, beautiful daughter, Macy. We're buying stuff. Here we go, blah, blah, blah. It came to $6.66, or it might have been $16.66, or $26.66.
There were 6 cents in there.
And I said, grab a candy bar or whatever and throw it on there. I am not checking out with the 666 number on there. Is that pure stupidity on my point? Probably. But my goodness gracious, if I'm pumping gas and it comes to 6 gallons, 0.66, nope, I'm putting more gas in. Oh, man.
But hey, I got to tell you, okay, back in the 70s, I know it was back in the 70s, my mom, well, she got her new plates in the mail for her car. And it was like the 3 numbers and the 3 letters, or 3 letters and 3 numbers. I don't know. But either way, the numbers, they were 666.
Oh, man.
And my mom has never been a Catholic, but she's a highly spiritual lady, beautiful, spiritual Christian lady.
Mm-hmm.
And she called and said she will not accept these. And it was a battle. They did not want to take them back.
I believe it. Oh, man.
But my mom, and if I'm wrong, Steve, correct me, but my mom ended up...
Why are you calling me Steve?
Well, I'm talking to my brother that will be listening to the show.
I know. I'm kidding. It was a bad joke.
I know. You're just Pat. Rick. Oh. Patrick.
Thank you.
Anyway, but where was I? But yeah, she got him to take him back, and she got a new set of plates.
Wow.
And yeah, she was not gonna. She had she had the hand of God on her shoulders.
I'm with her.
Yeah.
I'm with her.
So,
Well, Mike,
yeah, I don't like it either. On a lower level.
do you think, and we will wrap it up because it is getting late, and I know you need to go. And thank you for making this work, and thank you everybody for tuning in. Again, if you made it this far and you want to support the podcast, you enjoy what you hear, and you want to support us, no better way than to sign up for the Patreon page. You can sign up for as little as $1 a month, no obligations whatsoever. Mike, do you think that you have ever encountered a demon in any shape or form in your entire life?
Yes, I have been married to 3 of them.
I was waiting for the bad joke. Thank you very much. Bada bing, bada boom.
Well, there is so much truth in some things that a person says.
I understand.
But anyway, okay, so, is the shadow person a demon? Then I had experience. If I think back, things that have happened to me in my life, was that demonic? I mean, there are things that maybe I could, kind of pinpoint to something like that, but right off the top of my head, I can't say.
So if we believe that demons are everywhere, then you and I have been pretty darn lucky in our in our combined over 100 years on this planet to not really, nothing jumps to mind for me. Obviously, I mean, I who's to say? I really don't know. Some of those nightmares that still linger every now and then. There's like, is there something behind there? Who the hell knows? But that's a whole other topic altogether. Well, Mike, wow, this has been great. Time has flown. Thank you for making this work, buddy. We shall wrap it up.
We shall.
I feel again like we, as per usual, we barely scrape the tip of the devilish iceberg here.
Scrappy.
But we'll be back. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. And if you really, really, really want to see us on YouTube on video, yes, we will do that again very, very shortly because I know we're so handsome. You just need to see us.
I think that we should do the Patreon of the true crime on video as well.
That's a great idea. That's a good idea.
Well. I mean, some of these true crimes, you can get some like,
I think that's a good idea.
Share some pictures or articles or something.
Well, Mike, from one Captain Small, myself, to you, Mr. Deek Head, with a hyphen.
Look, he's holding it with his deek.
He's
holding it with his deek.
He's holding his head with his deek. Oh, man. Okay. Anyways, Captain Small to Mr. Mike. What do our awesome paranormal pals, Mike, need to do?
Oh, baby. Peace out.